this sort of dead period in between the combine and the pro days and the actual NFL draft is when some really interesting revelations start to come about. And one of them just really flew in under the radar. I actually don't even think this has been widely reported, but on Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Network phenomenal draft analyst, former NFL scout, he reported on his podcast, Move the Sticks, great podcast that he does with Bucky Brooks, also another former scout, that Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback out of LSU, the Lisfranc injury that plagued him during the 2021 season actually happened in August, before the college football season occurred, not during the season. So Derek Stingley Jr., I mean, that is a game changer in how teams could and should see his 2021 season, where if you look back, so 2019, obviously the season that put him on the map, national champions, undefeated. He was playing like a top 10 cornerback. He posted a 91.7 PFF grade, which is just amazing. He had a 51.4 quarterback rating when thrown at. 2020 was sort of whatever, but we'll get to that in a sec. And then 2021, everyone and their mom wrote off Derek Stingley Jr. because he only played 3 games. He didn't look very good out there. Looked a bit slow, a little bit sluggish. 28.1 quarterback rating when thrown at, and a 66.6 PFF rating, which is not good, right? PFF grade. So everyone's just like, oh, Stingley Jr. flash in the pan, doesn't work, doesn't do that. And that was the narrative, right? So this completely flips the script, because if he was fully healthy in 2021, he obviously doesn't play like that. And the fact that it occurred in training camp, for lack of a better term, in August before the season started, and he tried to tough it out through 3 games, that tells you a lot of things about Derek Stingley Jr. Number one, tough kid. He wanted to be out there for his teammates. He wanted to get back to where they once belonged, the national title game under Ed Orgeron 2019. Certainly did not work out. And he wanted just to get back out there for his teammates. And he could have easily taken 2021 off, where his 2019 season would have held up on its own during the draft, where it could have been like, all right, so we have this injury, we're going to sit out a year, and his draft stock probably wouldn't have been changed. But it actually hurt him to a degree, coming back and playing very marginally in 3 games. But this completely flips the narrative. And of course, he showed at his pro day that he is fully healthy, running a 4.37 40, doing great in the agility drills, explosiveness in the jumps as well. So that solved the problem about the Lisfranc. And then also Jeremiah's revelation that the injury occurred before the start of the season, and he actually played with a Lisfranc injury, which I've never had a Lisfranc injury, but from the sounds of it, it sounds very, very painful, where you need to use your feet quite a bit when you're a cornerback. It's kind of odd, right? Lisfranc injury is what a lot of NBA big men get, where they're always having feet and toe injuries. But trying to play with that in the big bad SEC, it's rough. It is really rough. And now you understand why he put up some really bad tape in 2021. So, again, this changes things. Now, teams probably knew about this, and the Vikings for damn sure knew about this, because guess what? Durante Jones is back as a defensive backs coach. He was LSU's defensive coordinator in 2021, so he, I'm sure, would have the lowdown on his star cornerback and his health. He would know probably exactly what practice or whatever happened where the Lisfranc injury occurred. He probably knows that line of demarcation, and so he would have all this inside info on what happened with Stingley. Plus, as we said, everyone's making a big thing. It's like, oh, Patrick Peterson and Derek Stingley Jr., they both went to LSU, and he'll be a great mentor. Yes, absolutely. But Durante Jones is the freaking key, because beyond all of the inside info that the scouting department will get, and they'll get some, Durante Jones was his coach last year, defensive coordinator. He would know everything about this kid, how he is off the field, how he is in the classroom, how he is with the training staff, how he is with coaches, how he is with his teammates, how he is on the field, off the field, etc. So the Vikings, I feel like Stingley is breaking late, and I feel like he especially after his pro day, and especially after, we're saying like this is breaking news, Daniel Jeremiah putting that out there. Teams knew. Teams probably knew, if they had a scouting department worth an ounce of salt, that Stingley Jr. played through the injury in 2021. So, I still think that Sauce is easily cornerback 1, because there's a lot fewer question marks with him. But I think Stingley's probably a lock to be a top 10 pick now, potentially. So the Vikings sitting at 12 could just be chilling. And I love me some Trent McDuffie. He would certainly be perfectly fine at 12 if Sauce and Stingley are off the board. But I think Stingley has all-pro potential, like all-pro, true blue alpha cornerback one, belt buckle to belt buckle, traveling with the other team's wide receiver one. But now, I don't know. I don't know. He may not get to 12. Should the Vikings maneuver and muscle for rank and go up and get Derek Stingley Jr.? I don't know. But again, the revelation of the injury, the timing of it, makes you look at his 2021 season in a completely different light, and it just shows the toughness of this kid, dedication of this kid as well. So Derek Stingley Jr. is going to be fine. He's going to be a phenomenal pro. Will it be in purple? Looks pretty good in purple and gold already. We'll see. Also, he can don number 7 after Patrick Peterson retires. So Vikings. New tradition for the Vikings. Number 7 is bestowed upon the best defensive back, a la number 7 with the LSU defensive backs. I love it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Revelation, Daniel Jeremiah reporting that Derek Stingley Jr.'s Lisfranc injury happened in August, not during the season. Let's know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.